Okay, let's talk about one of the shortest, but maybe one of the most powerful words we have. No. It's a word that can literally protect your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. But for so many of us, it's also one of the hardest words in the world to actually say out loud. So today, we're going to untangle exactly why it's so difficult, and more importantly, learn how to use it as a powerful tool for a more authentic life. So let me just start by asking you this. Does the word no just feel heavier than it should? Like, does it get stuck in your throat, all tangled up in worries about disappointing people or, coming across as selfish? If you've ever felt that way, I promise you, you are not alone. It's a surprisingly common and, well, a deeply human experience. And this quote, this just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? Every single time you say yes, when every part of you is screaming no, it's like a tiny withdrawal from your personal bank account of energy and time. It might seem easier in the moment, sure, but those little withdrawals add up, and they can leave you feeling exhausted, resentful, and kind of disconnected from who you really are. And that brings us perfectly to our first section, the high cost of yes. Because while saying yes often feels like the path of least resistance, it comes with a hidden price tag. And trust me, that price can be surprisingly steep over the long run. You can really see how these costs just knock into each other, like a line of dominoes. Burnout. It doesn't just happen overnight, right? It creeps in as you spread yourself thinner and thinner for everyone else. Then comes the resentment, which can start to poison the very relationships you were trying to preserve in the first place. Over time, all this just chips away at your sense of self, and the stress can even show up physically. Tension, headaches, getting sick all the time. But maybe the biggest cost of all? Waking up one day and realizing your life is jam-packed with everyone else's priorities, with no room left for your own. Okay, so if the cost is so high, why is it still so incredibly hard to just say no? Well, it turns out it's not some personal weakness. It's actually a reflection of some of our deepest, most fundamental human wiring. This table breaks down the powerful forces at play just perfectly. I mean, think about it. From an evolutionary standpoint, our brains are literally wired for approval because belonging to the group meant survival. Then culturally, we're taught from a young age that being helpful is a virtue and saying no is selfish. Psychologically, we're terrified of conflict. And then neurologically, saying yes gives us this quick hit of relief, a little dopamine rush for avoiding that immediate discomfort, even if it creates much bigger problems for us down the road. All right, so we know it's hard and we know why. Now we get to the most important part, reclaiming the word no. This is where we make a huge shift in our perspective. From seeing no as an act of rejection to seeing it as an act of profound self-respect. And the absolute key to this shift is understanding the concept of a boundary. I just love this definition. Think of it like a fence around a beautiful garden. The fence isn't there to keep everyone out forever. It's there to protect the delicate flowers inside from getting trampled, so they actually have the space to grow and thrive. Your boundaries do the exact same thing for your well-being. And this right here is the crucial distinction. Boundaries are not walls. They're not selfish. They're more like guardrails on a winding road. They're acts of self-respect that show clarity and strength. Understanding this is, well, it's everything. A healthy boundary isn't about pushing people away. It's about defining how you can connect with them in a way that's sustainable and honest for you. And here's the amazing payoff. When you're clear about your limits, people learn to trust your word. They know that when you say yes, it's a real, wholehearted, genuine commitment, not some reluctant answer born out of obligation. This actually strengthens your relationships by building them on a foundation of honesty and mutual respect. Now, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it in the moment? Let's get into the how with a really practical toolkit for setting those boundaries with confidence. This three-step method is so simple but incredibly effective. First, the pause. This is your secret weapon. It breaks that automatic people-pleasing yes reflex and gives you a moment to actually think. Second, the direct response. Remember, clear is kind. You don't owe anyone a novel-length explanation. And third, use I statements. Framing it around your own needs, like I need to, makes it about your capacity, not about rejecting the other person. Oh, and the language you use matters so, so much. Instead of those unhelpful habits like over-apologizing or over-explaining everything, try one of these helpful phrases like, I can't commit to that right now. Feel the difference? One sounds kind of weak and invites negotiation, while the other is clear, brief, and still kind. So what happens when you actually start putting all of this into practice? You begin to live a more authentic life. Let's look at the incredible payoff of finally protecting your peace. First off, your relationships actually get better. I know, it seems counterintuitive, but saying no when you need to actually deepens trust. Your friends, your family, your colleagues, they learn your limits and they respect your honesty, which leads to much healthier, more balanced connections. Second, you reclaim your most valuable resources, your time and your energy. All of a sudden, you have space in your calendar and in your mind for the things you truly want to say yes to, your passions, your big goals, and the people you really love spending time with. And finally, there's the internal reward, which might be the best of all. Every single time you honor your own limits, you send a powerful message to yourself that your needs matter. And this builds a profound sense of self-trust and confidence. You start showing up in the world as your most authentic self. It all comes down to this one powerful idea. Every no to something that drains you creates the space for a powerful, intentional yes somewhere else. Your no truly protects your yes. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. Your no isn't a weapon. It's a tool to protect your most authentic and enthusiastic yes. The only question left is, what will you choose to say yes to now?